Not so long ago, I hated cooking, and then Laura happened. Who am I? Well, my name is Ruta, and I'm a Lithuanian currently living in Iran. I know! Every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Hi everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 60th day of my challenge, which is my 2 months anniversary for trying a new recipe of Laura's every day. And on such a special day, I really wanted to, try something special. So I've decided not to go with the next recipe in line, which I have, from the very beginning. I have a list of all the recipes and I just go in line one by one, but to pick one of you guys' suggestion and try French macaroons. So this one is for you. And I actually thought that this is kind of, a really neat idea. If you've been eyeing some recipe of Laura in the kitchen for some time, but for one reason or another couldn't bring yourself to trying it, just leave it in the description. Why description? Comments. Leave it in the comments down below, and maybe on some special day like this one, I'm gonna try it for you and share my, suggestions maybe for what could go wrong while trying it for the first time. But that's that. Before we get into the ingredients, I have to mention one little thing which at a time didn't look that little at all, and it's almond flour. When I saw it among the ingredients, I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way I could find something so fancy where I'm living right now. And sure enough, I couldn't. But when I googled, I found out that almond flour is actually nothing else but really finely ground almonds, and that, my friends, is manageable. So what I did, I googled some more and I collected really good tips which I actually used today, and I put them all in the description box in the recipe itself, so do check that out. But shortly, I took some almonds, I gave them a head start in my food processor, and then I finished with the blender because it does grind finer, and I was sifting in between to separate really fine parts from the bigger ones, which I was returning back to the blender, and I was repeating the process once again. And now I feel kind of fancy because apparently I made almond flour today, and that's that. So let's go over the ingredients and let's make something special. All we're gonna need is, for the macaroons, 70 grams of almond flour, 160 grams of powdered sugar, 2 large egg whites, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 40 grams of sugar. And for the chocolate ganache, we're gonna need 100 grams of chocolate chips, 80 milliliters of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of butter, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna start by lining two baking sheets with parchment paper, because non-stick or no, these macaroons will stick to them, so you need parchment paper here. And as I only have one baking sheet, whenever I need two, I use this baking pan as my baking sheet. Oh well, we make it work. And now let's make the macaroons. So what I have here is the almond flour and the confectioner sugar. I'm gonna sift them through and mix them together. And now let's beat the eggs. I have my egg whites here. I'm gonna add them into this bowl, and on medium speed I'm gonna start beating them. Once they start getting kind of frothy, I'm gonna add in salt and cream of tartar and continue beating until soft peaks. Okay, that looks looks about right, soft peaks I would say. So now I'm gonna start slowly adding the sugar, and I'm gonna continue beating until really stiff peaks and until everything looks really glossy. Okay, I made a total mess like in my kitchen, but that's when you know it's ready, when you turn it upside down and nothing goes out. That already looks so yummy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add to this half of the dry mixture. So that's the almond flour and the confectioner sugar mixture I had there. I'm gonna add half, carefully fold it in, and then add the remaining and as carefully fold it in as well. And of course they will deflate, but still you want to do that as careful as possible. That looks perfect. And now I'm gonna spoon everything into one corner of the Ziploc bag. And now I'm gonna cut off the end of one of the Ziploc bag corners to make around half a centimeter opening. What would I do without this? Okay, something along those lines. And now I'm gonna squeeze some little tiny maroons, 4 centimeters in between them, and I think I'm gonna make like 30 in one baking sheet because there should be around 30 in total, so they're from both sides, so 30, huh? Okay, I think I'm kind of failing at keeping 4 centimeters apart. I will check those. These are definitely... Maybe I should move them. Yeah, I will just take those off and make again. Ah, I'm making a mess. No! Oh man, do I know how to make a mess? Boy, do I. Okay, I'm gonna just... How to take them apart? That was a bad call. Now, with the last one, I got the perfect one. Yeah, it's true what they say, practice makes perfect. So I do have a tiny bit more. Oh, wait, I had this. So how funny is that? I took them off and now I'm gonna put to the exact same place. Oh well. Live and learn, live and learn. And now I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, and then I'm gonna let them dry for around half an hour, and in 20 minutes or so I'm gonna turn on my oven to preheat to 150 degrees because in half an hour we're gonna put them into the oven. Half an hour has passed and I have to say I had to fight my urge to just scoop out all the batter, line new parchment paper and just make them again because I've made them twice as big as they should be. That's one. They are too close to each other, some of them. That's two. And the third thing is they are a bit too runny. I really wanted kind of to add in a little bit more of the almond flour to make them, well, kind of, well, not as wet, because Laura's ones, they were a little bit more like bubbles, but in the end, I decided, let's just try and see how it goes. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put them into the oven on top and on the bottom racks. And I'm gonna bake them for 10 minutes, then take out the baking sheets, switch them in between, and rotate them as well so that everything would cook evenly, will bake evenly. And then we will see what we will have from this. better than I expected, and they smell like happiness. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let them cool now for around 1 hour. I need them completely cooled for the next step. 1 hour has passed, so now let's make the chocolate ganache. What I have here is a small saucepan with heavy cream in it, and I'm gonna warm it up until right below the boiling point, then turn the heat off and add the chocolate chips for 5 minutes. Okay, and now I'm gonna add in the butter and the salt, and I'm gonna mix until everything combines. As I can see a little bit of chocolate chips, I'm gonna heat it just a tiny bit until everything melts. Okay, that's done. So while the ganache is cooling down a little bit, I'm gonna carefully peel the maroons from the parchment paper and kinda pair them up, because apparently these will be the bottoms, because look how nice these ones turned out. Okay, so now I have my ganache here, and they look pretty amazing. I won't lie, it's so interesting. In the process, I totally felt like I'm failing, but now it looks like I succeeded yet again. So what I'm gonna do, the last step, well, one of the last ones, anyways, is I'm gonna take one of these guys and I'm gonna sandwich in between the chocolate ganache. Now, if they were the size that they should have been, which, as I understand, half of this one, then I would have put half a teaspoon. Yep, I do have measuring spoons nearby, but as they are quite bigger, I think I'm gonna put like 1 teaspoon, and I'm gonna do 1 with a teaspoon just to know how much it is, and then I'm gonna eyeball the rest. Like half of the ganache left actually, so if you're making this, you can definitely cut the ingredients for the ganache like half. It's interesting how yet another time when, while in the process, I was kind of stressed out and I thought that I kind of failed. But in the end, I get this result. I want to tilt it a little bit more, but I'm afraid they will fall. It's just amazing. They look so adorable, and I see how much cuter they would be if they were smaller, because now they're, well, a cookie size, I would say. So next time when I'm making these, or I should say maybe if I was remaking them again, I would definitely try to make them smaller, because it's just an 1 bite size. But now, okay, which one is the smallest one? Oh, this one. I want to try it so much. They look so yummy. I actually don't know what to expect, because I tried coconut macaroons, but they look totally different. So I feel like this is a totally different cookie. Oh my goodness, it's so light but chewy. Oh man, it's so nice. These totally remind me of childhood. My mom used to make these cookies from egg whites, and I totally forgot about them until this moment. Oh my goodness, that's such a nice feeling, you know, when something reminds you of childhood. Oh, I love these ones so much. And they're so cute to look at. I love the chewiness so much. Oh man, I cannot wait to share these ones with my husband. So if you want, go and check the original recipe by Laura, because, okay, there are two differences, except for her making it look very easy. One, hers are smaller, and two, her chocolate ganache is much thicker. Mine is a bit, well, runnier. I kind of wanted to put a little bit more, but it was running out, so I don't know. What should I do about that? I should Google. But anyways, go check the original recipe by Laura, and the written one is as always in the description box. I really hope that you had fun, and I'll see you in the day. Bye!